Now that you've had a chance to take a look at our course canvas, I want to talk about what we're going to be doing in English 1 and how you can be most successful in this class. The class description is as follows: instruction and practice in essay writing, including using analytical thinking, choosing a thesis, assembling and organizing supporting evidence, and developing a clear tone and appropriate style. Includes reading and analysis of published essays and practice and basic research skills. Phew. I don't know about you, but that sounds pretty boring. Let's break it down. I'm going to teach you to think, read, and write in a critical way. The class will be a lot of work, but I promise to make it fun, and I hope you learn to trust in the process and let me help you develop as a writer. The goal here is to help you be confident in your skills and trust in your ability to think and react to the world around you. All the information in this video will come from the course syllabus. To find the course syllabus, I've tried to make it really simple, so all you're going to do is go to the front page of our course, and then you're going to go to the left-hand side and click on syllabus, and then on that page will be the entire course syllabus that you can then go back to anytime throughout the semester. There are no required textbooks for this class, so all the course materials are programs and apps that we're going to be using. You'll need a working computer with access to the internet. If you're using a tablet, you can download a Canvas app. You're going to also want to download the Remind app, which I'll go over later in the blocks. And then you'll also want to have a working Google account so that you'll have Google Docs. You'll also be required to create and upload video projects for this class. If you've never done this before, that's totally fine. Adobe Spark is great for beginners and it's completely free. I'll also need you to have a YouTube account that you can use to find and upload videos later in the semester. This is going to be the grade breakdown for the class. I'm going to go over all these different sections, but just keep in mind that your grade is going to be based off a lot of different components, so it's important that you keep up with the work. The unit graded assignments are going to be all the work that we do for the class other than the essays and the essay prep, and that's going to be about 40% of your grade, and each unit is going to be about 10%. So we have 4 units, so 40%. So before you start writing each of your essays, you're going to be completing a brainstorming assignment, outline, and paragraph samples, which you'll send to me. And this is a way for me to check in, make sure that you understand the assignment, and offer feedback before you start writing your final draft. And this will be worth 10% of your grade. Because this is an online class and it's so easy to fall behind and get lost, I make an effort to provide plenty of templates and examples for your essays and homework assignments. It should go without saying, but please do not copy my sample or example work. You may use my templates as long as you're filling in your own information. Each essay we write for this class will be worth a different value of points, and the essays will increase in value as you gain more skills and hone your abilities. I expect you to make mistakes, especially on the first 2 essays. Remember that at the end of the semester, you will have the opportunity to revise one of your essays. So if you do mess up on one of them, you will be able to make up those points. All the assignments for this class are going to be organized into blocks, and each of the blocks will have the same due date. So this is going to keep it pretty simple in terms of knowing what is due when. To find the blocks, you're going to go to Modules, and then you're just going to find the unit that you want to complete. And each unit has several blocks that you're going to be completing. Make sure that when you are doing the blocks, that you're doing them in order, because they are organized in a specific way. Note that blocks are going to be a mix of text, videos, and assignments. So even the blocks that aren't technically graded, you still want to make sure that you're reading them because they're going to provide important information for completing the graded assignments. As I said, always do the blocks in order, and then also pay attention to the due dates. So blocks will all have the same due dates, and you can find those due dates on the course calendar. The quizzes for this class are not ones you'll have to study for, but you are going to have to prepare ahead of time. Whenever you see a quiz in the blocks, you'll always want to make sure that you're completing the assignment previous, because that's going to provide you with the questions that you're going to be quizzed on. So in some cases, I'm going to provide all the questions in order, but other times I'll provide you with a number of questions and then just pick a couple that are going to be on the quiz. Once you've completed the homework or the quiz questions, then what you're going to want to do is click on the quiz and get started. So you want to note that each quiz has a 10-minute time limit, so you want to make sure that you have the answers to the questions before you start the quiz. Once you click on it, it'll give you some multiple choice questions and you're just going to answer, and then you're going to click on the next button to get the next question. This is not the correct answer, by the way. The quizzes that we take in this class are meant as a way to check for understanding and make sure that you're keeping up. And I don't allow you to retake quizzes. So make sure that before you start the quiz, you are prepared to finish it in 10 minutes. If there's any technical problems or anything, you're just going to have to take the 0. So the main way that we're going to communicate in this class is using Remind. And so this is a really helpful app that allows me to message you guys directly on your phones and allow you to message one another, but you don't have to exchange any phone numbers. There will be more information about Remind later in the block. So my office hours are Monday through Friday, 9 to 4. If you contact me outside those office hours, don't expect a reply right away. If you contact me during the office hours, I will try and get back to you as soon as I can. The only reason I wouldn't is because sometimes I'm teaching another class, but I will get back to you within a couple hours. As I mentioned before, we are going to be making video projects for this class. And so Adobe Spark is a really great option if you haven't used any video making software before. So the video projects that we do in class are going to be a replacement for the presentations that you might do in a regular English class. And it's a way for you to show your understanding and knowledge of the assigned topics. So while you're welcome to use any video editing software that you have access to, Adobe Spark is a really great option. It's free, it's easy to use, and it's really quick. Because this class is so short, my late work policy is going to be really strict. So it's important that you're keeping up with deadlines, otherwise you will fail the class. I will not accept any late blocks or late essays for this semester, so just keep that in mind and really make sure that you're prepared to keep up with all the deadlines if you're going to stay in this course. I will have a 2-hour grace period for blocks and a 6-hour grace period for essays. So as long as you get your essay or your block in within that grace period, I will take and grade the assignment. As I mentioned before, you will have the opportunity to revise one of your essays at the end of the semester. So the way this is going to work is that you're going to turn in all 4 of your essays and get a grade on them. And then at the end of the 6 weeks, I'll give you the opportunity to go back and revise any one of those essays. I will not accept any revisions until you turn in and get a grade for essay 4. And then there is no limit to the grade that you can get on the revision. So even if you technically fail the essay, you can get a really good grade on that essay when you revise it. One thing I always suggest to my online students is to take notes as you go through the different blocks. And while you always have the option to go over old blocks once they've been completed, it can save you a lot of time to keep a notebook or Word doc of important terms and concepts as I cover them, so you're not wasting time going back and trying to find specific information. As with any college class, any sort of copying or cheating is unacceptable and will result in possible failure from the class or expulsion. I have a zero tolerance policy for any assignments, essays, or discussion posts that steal, borrow, or use the ideas or words of another person without providing citations. If I find that any student is turning in plagiarized work, you will get a 0 on that assignment and a warning. If it happens again, you're going to get an F in the class and I will contact the department head. I know I've said it before, but I also want to reiterate that this is a 6-week class and we're going to move through the units very quickly. Falling behind or asking for extensions is just not an option for this class. If you can't commit to at least 20 hours a week, you may want to take a class in the fall where it's going to move at a much slower pace. If you stay in the class, it is your responsibility to be organized, to be aware of the due dates, and to get things turned in on time. So that's going to be it for now. If you have any additional questions, please feel free to message me on Remind. And now you can continue on with the rest of the assignments in Block 1.